in my studio I have a very distinguished gentleman who is very good at national issues also. Sir, I want to draw your attention a recent survey by Bangladesh Institute of. Yes, sir, please.
Can we talk about this
yes,
issue
yes, sir,
which has
please,
just been
please,
pointed
sir, go
out?
ahead.
It's very unfortunate that someone who served in the as a local assistant in the Afghan US forces in Afghanistan and was given asylum as a part of the deal, and has now turned his guns onto those who actually gave him the asylum, and the US, that also US military. Although it has been termed as a terrorist attack, but I think this could be result of things like disillusionment, you know, the hope that they came and last, say, about, it has been 3-4 years, maybe the guy was suffering from, you know, loss of income, loss of, you know, other family members, you know. So, but it reminds me of those days, you know, the whole American transport aircraft was filled up with people, and other people were also, as the aircraft was taxiing out from Bagram Air Base, thousands of people were sort of chasing that aircraft, and some people died under the crushing wheels. And now things have become like this. You see that those who sought the asylum are now killing the Americans. This will have a very negative effect on the, as Norman pointed out, on the asylum situation, and it will only reinforce President Trump's you know, hypothesis that you know, all these immigrants are mostly troublemakers and they are, you know, creating problem for the United States of America. But I hope that this is they take this the investigation finds out that this is an isolated act of individual isolated act of vendetta or, you know, psychological issues, and not a terrorist act as such. Otherwise, it will be you know, really snowball into a bigger problem.
Crime take place in the United States by the black Americans, 11% by white Americans, 7% by immigrants, and rest of the things happen accidentally or by police or by professionals or by taxi drivers. That is a different data. My question is, why so much focus on the immigrants only, as they are suffering for the documentation problem, and according to the American law, United States doesn't have rights to rebut or push back anybody from the United States of America. How do you see President Donald Trump is making America great again or making America isolated?
I do not know much about the immigration laws now, but thing is that if a person has illegally entered, then it is the sovereign right of that country to push him out. That will happen in Bangladesh also, that if somebody is alien citizen, he is living here and without valid passport, visa, without immigration, we will throw them out. But what used to happen in the United States of America, nobody used to check. For ages, you see, unless you really commit a crime and then got into the police and then they start, they never bothered. That I have been a number of times during my Air Force career, I have gone and stayed some course as long as 1 year. Nobody ever asked me, where are you from? This particular question, nobody ever asked. Where are you from? Everybody takes it granted. But thing is that since 9/11, you know, and the global rise of terror, and see the American response to it and the various factions, that it is bound to happen. There has to be there is a growing public concern within the United States that we need to check on, not only on the United States, whole of Europe. Whole of Europe, successive governments are coming one after the other, who are coming on the popular votes which is against immigration. You see Germany, France, Italy, Sweden, Scandinavian countries, where you, just like the United States, nobody ever asked where are you from. And in fact, our students who are going to Scandinavian countries were getting free education even in the university, just like any other student from their own country. But things are changing, and this is because of the geopolitical situation and because of the social upheaval that it causes. You see, for example, even a country like Switzerland, which used to be the heaven for all political exiles from all over the world, they themselves are concerned, because ultimately, you know, everybody wants stability in their society. Just like Bangladesh is a Muslim dominant, you know, there is a Islamic some values and cultures which has to be upheld. Similarly in Europe, similarly in America, America continues to remain a primarily a Christian country, although it is very secular. But thing is that there is a limit beyond which you cannot change things. So what Trump is doing is of course very extraordinary measures, but I don't think even the next government will change anything great about that, because we have to be now what to do about countries like Bangladesh. We need to improve our socio-economic situation here, employment situation, economic situation, so that our people do not go outside, they don't feel its urge to go outside illegally and go to another country.
Exactly, sir.
Just take Obama for example. You see, Obama's father was a Muslim,
yes,
from Kenya, okay,
yes, yes,
married a lady from Hawaii,
yes,
which is again not a mainstream, you know, she is a Hawaiian,
Yes.
and he became the president two successive terms, and a very, very popular and very successful president. So the vice president Kamala Harris, okay, they were
Yes.
she has origin from South India. Her father went in and married. So these are America even today is the world's most open society. If you compare it with China, even Japan, Korea, you see, what to speak of India, Bangladesh or South Asia, it's much more open. But as it is closing down to a large extent, one has to admit that the recent immigrants are also responsible. As I said, 9/11 was a really turning point. You see, before 9/11, even in America, you could fly, any citizen, take an aircraft. If you have the license, you take an aircraft and fly. Nobody will, you can't do that. At that time even you couldn't do that in Bangladesh, but you could do that in America. But after 9/11 things have changed.
Along similar lines, another recent analysis suggests that in 2025 an additional 3 million people could fall into extreme poverty. These are all data I have received from different surveys. What is your observation, sir? I know you are very, very straightforward.
No, this is BIDS, you know, is the highest think tank of Bangladesh, and you know, we value their reports more than even CPD or BSS. And as we can see from the streets also, that as we are just coming out of the COVID-19, as we are on the recovery phase, and then we got stuck with this revolution and internal dissension and all this dislocation that's happening, it has severely affected the economy of Bangladesh. And from as low as 17% poverty rate, as you said, it's almost touching 21%. When after, you see, in the 1972 when this country was born, where almost 40% people were below the poverty line. They could not have had, 2,000 calories of food intake. Our death rate was high, our birth rate was high, people were poor. And from there we kept on graduating, and we graduated up to 17%. We lowered our poverty rate, and extreme poverty maybe about 3 to 4%. But this rise is a very significant, that after all our gains are being washed out. And I can tell you one thing, that to stop this and again go up is not an easy task. Once the economy starts going down, so, and you said that then unemployment, and because you see, it is all are in a chain. Yeah. If you have less work, if you have less production, the workers will get laid off. They will go back. They will become a burden. Then and most importantly, the female workers. Our garment sector, our construction sectors, these are in serious problem. So these how many lakhs of people have lost?
Yeah, 3 million people.
3 million, maybe 2.5 million are female. And now what happens? Another very important statistics has come, that the early marriage. Early marriage, because you see, when the workers go home, many of these girls were, now the parents, what do? They were earning and they were respected, now they don't have a job, so they get them married. When they get married, they get produce a baby. And for the first time, after so many years, for the first time, Bangladesh population growth rate,
Yes.
population has been rising, but the growth rate was continuously coming down. Last year's statistics says that, and this has come in Daily Star, that the population growth rate is increasing. So all these are negative impact. So we have to tighten our belt. We're looking forward to an election, a very participatory and free and fair election. But the government that comes, whichever government comes, it will have a huge challenge to
adjust everything,
because they have to first of all stop the fall and then take it up